Um, this morning when I got up, I had seen a video of David Icke, and before, I didn't really know who he was too much, over the time, and I guess apparently he's been around for 35 years speaking out about some of this stuff, and all I knew about him was over the past few years, and, that he was talking about shapeshifters, and the queen was a shapeshifter, and all this stuff that goes on at the palace or something with the reptilians. And so I didn't know that much about him. I only knew that part, and I knew that a lot of people just, called him crazy, conspiracy theorist or whatever. And so now, as stuff has been revealed, when people are going and listening to him and sharing his stuff, and I hear some of the stuff he said, I'm pretty sure I shared 2 links. If I haven't yet, I'll make sure and put the other one in. But him talking, because he talks exactly about what I'm saying. He explains it differently, and I really like how he explains it too. But this whole disconnect over who and what you really are, this whole thing about, your consciousness, your energy. You are, what people think of as spirits or ghosts or whatever. They're just consciousness that is not in a body. It's this whole 3-dimensional way of thinking of everything is like, oh, it's a scary ghost. Oh, that can't be real. I mean, the stuff that people are starting to be like, when I hear how some people are about ghosts, like, oh my gosh, you guys, I really think there's something going on here. Like, really? Like people are just starting to figure out we're not alone here. It is, it's all consciousness becoming aware of its reality. And, I guess I keep on thinking somehow I'm going to say something that's going to get somebody to get it if I explain it all the time. But, consciousness in this reincarnation cycle is this is a time right now, because it's the changing of the ages. It's this whole cosmic event that's going on, and this gives the opportunity for souls in this density to graduate and move forward. But the whole graduation isn't just like, oh, I'm against racism, so I graduate. I'm this, so I graduate. The woke movement or whatever it's called. It's not about that. That's how the deep state takes stuff and twists it and manipulates it so that you're focused on the wrong thing. That's what they do over and over and over and over. But you yourself have to pull back as an independent soul, as a sovereign being, and go, wait a minute, and start to question things. I heard one thing this morning that was really good, and I'm not sure who it was. I think it was probably on Zeducation, and I think it was a meme, but it was whoever had made it was questioning, like, why is it okay to walk through a restaurant and have this on and then sit down at your table and take it off? But when you're in school, you have to wear it all day long, even if you're at your own desk. Like, great point. Yeah, somebody please. So, but you have to start questioning that. And then once you start questioning it, you start seeing, and then you start understanding, like, oh, wait, there's lying going on. Oh, wait, there's manipulation going on. Oh, wait, this is completely controlled, and they don't have my best outcome is not their intention. And it just gets more nefarious the deeper you look into what's going on this planet. So, but everybody has this unique opportunity right now for ascension. But the whole thing is you have to have that ability as a soul to begin to question your environment, to question what you're told, to question what's expected of you, to start looking at it as an independent spirit. you know, and you've evolved enough that, you know, I don't need to go by kindergarten rules. I've evolved, I'm graduating, you know, it's kind of like that. But there's a lot of people who aren't quite ready, you know, and that's just the way it is. It's no shame. I mean, all the souls are at different places, always. And, you know, think about this, like you could have a soul that is going through these lives, one after another for eons, and other ones, you know, they'll go through some and then as soon as possible graduate and then go up. And everything outside of when you're not incarnated into a physical form and you're just free energy, you think about you being free energy, but you're also in a frequency, a resonance. So you can't move beyond what your understanding is. So you are, it's not like trapped, but you're limited. So all the time when you reincarnate, in those incarnation experiences, that is when you learn to expand your deeper understanding of things and interaction and contact and a higher way of looking at things. So in those experiences, that is how your universe can expand, because as free energy, you can go more places. You can go up to wherever your frequency in your resonance. You can't take negative and take it into a positive, because it would change the whole balance. Down here, we're in the balance where it's out of balance, where the negative has control. Now we're starting to see the positive. Although a lot of people only know how to give it, you know, three-dimensional names and stuff like that, you know, the God, this whole thing, you know, about Jesus and stuff like that, where people see it as, you know, the coming back of Christ. This is this whole thing, because that's how they relate to spiritual, you know, anything about energy and stuff. That still is very confusing to them. Like, no, this is just, you die. If you do good, you go to heaven, and then you're with Jesus. Jesus is coming back right now because there's so much evil. He's going to save us from the evil on this planet. But that's all three-dimensional thinking. That's all the way of thinking that, you know, there's a savior out there. There's somebody there to rescue you. And that's just not how it is in soul world. In soul world, you rescue yourself. It's about you expanding yourself. It's about you learning about yourself. It's expansion. It's the growth of your energy, your soul. And you get bigger and bigger and bigger and go up higher and higher and higher. So you, you know, how do you combat evil? Good. The light. You know, if you're so anti-evil, the way to combat it is to just focus on how to make yourself be a really positive presence, you know. So it always comes back to focusing on yourself, not on what's outside of yourself. And that is this whole experience that we're going through about the consciousness, the evolution of beings to begin to understand themselves, to begin to understand there's more to this experience. There's more to who and what we are. There's more to what is created here. There's more to everything. You have limited beliefs when you don't question outside of those beliefs. Then you're held back by those limitations. You know, you have to question what's outside of there. You know, it makes me think about the kidnapped kid, you know, who just was in the one, I don't know, basement or something their whole life, you know, and never got to go outside. The first time he went outside, I mean, it was like a completely different world, which always takes me back to the people in the tunnels. It breaks my heart that they never even got to see, you know, the places they were inhabiting. Well, they weren't inhabiting it. They were inhabiting tunnels. But there was sky and grass and trees and all this beauty, all this beauty out here. So many people just take it for granted. They don't even, they're so wrapped up in their, the experience that's presented to them that they can't expand outside of that. But that is the thing. You have to always be thinking, what's outside of there? What's outside of there? And so this reality, what is outside of there? What is beyond this? What is, what is the point of all this? Those are the questions you need to be asking. But you need to be looking inside yourself for the answers. You need to do other kinds of research. You can't just be sitting back and, thinking about all of the things that are crashing around us. But, luckily we have this hero that's going to fly in to save us all, the sinners, as long as they say, hey, you're the good guy, you are my savior. Then, you can be as rotten as you want. All you gotta do is magic words. That's kind of magical thinking. That's where I get the fairy tale thing. Because that's what's really going on, is a soul beginning to understand what it is. And, I feel like you can say it 1,000 times, and you can't get somebody to understand it until they can understand it. It's impossible. So, but I shared those videos. I think he says a lot of really good stuff. I like the way he explains it about what's going on with people's minds, but it's the same stuff I keep talking about. It's all intentional. It's all to cut you off from who you are. It's to harness your energy, and it is to, we're still enslaved human beings. We haven't broken free from that yet. This is what is happening. This is how really huge it is. A system that has enslaved human beings since the beginning of creation. And, but you have to see their system. You have to see the holes. You have to question it, and you have to want to pull out of it. And then you will find yourself in a new reality. So, I'll be right back. There was some more stuff I wanted to talk about.